Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Checkmate Theory. Today I'm here with a special guest. I'm here with Berenice from the Millennial Magazine. How are you doing today?
Hi, no, thank you for having me on the show. I'm really excited to talk about a bit more and really excited to be on Checkmate Theory.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for being here. And yeah, it's going to be a great episode and definitely we will learn a lot from you today. So just before we begin, tell us who you are, where you're from, and what is your expertise?
So my name is Berenice and originally I'm from Germany. That's where I was born and grew up till I was about 2. My dad's English, so we moved back over here and I've kind of grown up the whole of my life since then. In and around the UK, and now currently based in Birmingham for the last 4 years, which I'm really enjoying and really kind of got my own life up here and really settled. So yeah, and just graduated last year, so now just kind of finding my feet and moving forward.
It's really good. It's really good. Germany, I've been to Germany a few times. It's a really beautiful country. So you are born like in the main big cities or around the villages? Because I went to the village.
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it.
Okay.
I can't pronounce it, so don't ask me to.
Oh, don't worry, I can't either.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, no, I was born in Münster, which is kind of not too far from Dortmund, if you know
Oh,
where that
nice.
is.
Yeah,
So
yeah, of course I do.
yeah, no, and that's where a lot of my mum's family is from. So yeah, I've got quite a few ties there. I still visit there quite a lot up until the last couple of years. So yeah, still got a lot of that connection and luckily got to see like quite a bit of where I'm from as well.
Nice, nice. So do you actually speak German then?
Not very well at all, no. I can understand it more like listening,
Yeah.
but I can't really like reply or anything. My first word was in German and I think that's kind of where it stopped. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I wish I could. I'm gonna try and learn it again. Maybe it'll be my New Year's resolution.
No, that's good. That's good. No, learning languages, it's really good and something that I'm trying to pick up more as I get older. But yeah, that's great. That's great. So
Yeah.
so you are the founder and CEO of the Millennial Magazine. So before we begin, can you explain what that is to our listeners and how did that come about?
Yeah, no, of course. So it kind of came about, I want to say in 2018. At the start, I was in my second year of uni. And I think I was just kind of sat in a lecture one day and I just thought I'd love to like run my own magazine or work for one. I just thought, why don't I just do it myself? And it all literally just started off with like a simple Instagram story on my page. And I just asked if anyone would be interested in modeling for a new magazine. And I think within like the first half an hour, I had about 5 or 6 girls come back saying that they'd be really interested, and kind of just went from there really. And I realised like I think my first issue would be to do a women's focused one, from the interest and also kind of more where my interests were focused, and just kind of started suddenly like thinking, oh, putting dates in the diary for when we could do shoots and kind of planning out the vision for it, and just kind of all came together really quickly and was really well received by everyone else as well. And I think going to a really creative uni, there was a lot of people who wanted to get involved, and I realised how much it could kind of benefit not only me, but kind of giving opportunities and a platform to people who were trying to get into modelling or trying to get into photography. So anything like that was kind of like, it's not just kind of benefiting me, it's for everyone. So I realised how kind of it was like reaching out to a wider web really.
Yeah, no, it's great.
But
And
yeah.
yeah, it was great and experiencing it myself. So myself and my team of unorthodox events were actually part of the Millennial Magazine. So just
Yeah,
go through that.
you were, yeah.
Yeah, so just going through that was just great. It was the first time I was at a photo shoot. The whole interview process, the copy of the text was really professional and it was just really eye-opening. Ever since then, I was like,
Yeah.
it was like it was just really motivating because I was like, cool, I'm in one magazine now. What's the next one I can go on to? It just gave us that fuel, to launch and to progress. So we do thank
Yeah.
you very much for that.
Oh.
And I can relate with the other people that were part of the process of Millennium Magazine because it does boost your confidence. Every time you try
Yeah.
something new, it's just like a new level. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh no, not a problem.
So I'm
And I think that
interested.
was just the main, sorry, I
No,
think there's
no,
a
no.
slight delay.
After you. After you.
No, no, not at all. So yeah, no, and that's what I think. I'm so glad to hear that, because I think like it was not only about like who I was connecting with, but like say if you as a model then met with another photographer on a shoot, like
Yeah.
you could kind of go from there and have another contact for yourself as well. So it's kind of like everyone was involved, kind of got this little like cross connection, which they could use their own benefit in the future. And obviously everyone being creative, so they're always kind of on the lookout for something else as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a great network for us as well, because that's the first time I spoke to the photographer, Sham.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Sham, yeah.
yeah, I'm not good with names, so if you're listening,
No.
Sham, please forgive
No.
me. But yes, she's so talented, very talented, and she recorded for
Yeah,
some of our events, our unorthodox events,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was just the way she put everything together, edited it, and within what 48 hours we had a professional,
Mhm,
professional recorded visuals of our events,
mhm,
and it was so
mhm,
beneficial from a business standpoint, because for me, selling events was always selling an experience, so not just tickets.
mhm.
And to have Sham part of that process and recording it, and then quickly putting up a visual 2 days later, was very beneficial for us and
Yeah.
our guests. So
Mhm.
that's great. So I'll do it again. Thank you so much for that connection. And
No worries.
what I'm interested in now is the ideation process behind the Millennial Magazine.
Mhm.
What was that like eureka moment where he was like, "Cool, I'm going to do this, and yeah, I'm going to go full steam ahead."
I think after the first issue, like obviously putting it all together immediately was kind of where I thought, oh, you know what, this is actually a lot easier than I thought it would be, and I suddenly got really, really passionate about it, and I was, like I said, I didn't have any kind of like startup money or anything to do it. I just was like, I'm just going to do it and see what I can do and use the resources around me. Um, and I think the real moment when I realised, oh, I think people actually really, really like this and take off, was probably at the launch party for the first issue. And again, that was something I've just kind of done last minute, about 4 weeks after like really up before the first issue was due to come out from the printers. I was
Yeah,
kind of like, I don't want to just have it come out and just that's it. I was like, I actually do want to do a little launch party, and me and my friend Cass like just kind of were sat in one of our uni bedrooms and we just planned it all out last minute. And yeah, 4 weeks later, had a venue, like had it all decorated, and had probably like say I think about 50, 60 people came and all that, and it was just a really nice like intimate event, but kind of got the word out there. And at the same time, that was the first day the magazine was out, so people could get it straight away in their hand rather than me having to post it out. And it was just like everyone was just really excited and had it all in front of them, you know, taking pictures of it. And it was obviously a really good kind of like PR move as well, because kind of got that social media buzz going. And I think after releasing the first issue, the Instagram page like had barely any followers still at this point, but the page that week got like over 1,000 views and visits. So I was just
yeah,
like, oh, you know, it's getting a lot of attention. And I think that just kind of built up the perfect platform to go from there for the next couple of issues, to kind of be like approaching people, and gave me the confidence that people liked it as well. And that's kind of when I was like, right, I'm going to go through with this and carry it on. So I wasn't really planning on doing another issue after the first one, to be honest. I was just going to do it as a one-off. But yeah, no, it really gave me the confidence to go forward with it.
yeah. No, that's brilliant. So that tells us that you have a strong action bias, and all the successful
Mm,
people I know share that personality trait. You have an idea, you
hmm
validate it, and then you crack right on,
hmm
which is really good.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, just the whole having a launch event around this was
hmm
a strategic move, because that's the best way to bring like-minded individuals
hmm
together. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's great. If I do ever
no.
launch something else, I will implement that moving forward.
Yeah, I think just testing the waters and having that little like intimate bit at the start where you can kind of get to know what people are feeling, and you kind of get honest opinions as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really important, because then you can kind of like assess what you might want to go forward with, or maybe look at implementing, and you can kind of just like have those face-to-face conversations, which I know at the moment are a bit more difficult, but
Yeah.
it's really important, like, to just talk to people. And I think collaborating, as I always say, is one of like the most like important things, especially in the media industry. Kind of opens up a lot more doors without even having to do much.
Yeah. And that reminds me of a African proverb. It's if I remember it correctly, it says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far,
Yeah,
go together." And yeah,
yeah,
that's I always remember that when
I
I'm
know that
doing
one. Yeah,
something. Yes, it's really good,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, no, yeah.
And during a digital age, you pivoted into printed media. So what kind of sparked that interest, and what was
Hmm.
that journey like? Because it is really unique, everything's online,
Mm,
but here's a new
hmm.
magazine brand that just started and found itself in people's hands, which is really good. Like for
Hmm.
me, just having a magazine with my picture on it and showing my friends and family
Hmm.
was super cool, and that has a much more impact
Yeah,
if it was just a link online. So yeah, what was that like?
yeah.
And
So
was that
yeah, no,
part
I
of your
completely know.
marketing as well?
I think, yeah, it kind of was like, it kind of, that concept of sticking with the print idea kind of
Yeah.
came back to everything that I was like kind of passionate about. So when I went to uni, like the reason I went to uni is because I wanted to be a magazine editor for a proper like print fashion magazine one day. But obviously at the time that I've even like started and left uni, the print industry has like very much suffered and is dying out because of digital media, which obviously I completely understand. But for me, that traditional form of magazines in a print thing just feels really real. And I like the idea of having it in your hand. It feels professional, and I think it just brings you like closer to the person. Like, I think everything is online, and I just wanted to bring out something that was new and involved a lot of modern and current concepts with, like, for example, the whole collaboration thing, and them doing like a male and female issue, which you don't often see with magazines in particular. They're very much either like female or
Oh
male
yeah, yeah.
focused. So it kind of like had a lot of modern concepts, but it was just still in that, the only like older part about it was just how it was formed. Yeah, that might have like limited the reach it could have had, but for me that was our unique selling point. It was kind of going back to something traditional, which I really, really liked. And I think that's why it was really special. Like, there was no better feeling than having it kind of like have all the copies arrive in a big cardboard box that get delivered, and they were all in there and you could touch it, feel it, and flick the
Yeah.
pages. And I just think when it's on a screen, it's just like anything else. It's not different, it's not special, you don't get it in the post. And it's that whole thing of like opening it and being able to take it with you and show someone and not have to get it up on your phone, and just had that exclusive feel, I think. So yeah, but I think moving forward, it is obviously important to always bear in mind like what the trends are in digital age and everything, and how accessible it is. So yeah, it's definitely a tough call sometimes.
And it was a very strategic one as well, because not everyone's doing it. So to have that USP of a printed magazine,
Mm,
uh, uh,
yeah.
modern printed magazine, it's
Hmm.
really cool. And just as the end user, like receiving that through the
Hmm.
post, I was over,
Yeah.
I was ecstatic, just going flicking
Yeah.
through the pages.
Yeah.
Oh, look, that's
Yeah.
me. And then just that feeling,
Yeah.
it's unreal. So what
Yeah.
were there any tough challenges since starting out, and how did you overcome them?
So since, yeah, starting out magazines, the main challenge for me was trying to maintain it post uni, and finding the time. And as I said, it's unfortunately been impossible to kind of carry it on just yet since the third issue. But at the moment, now that I've kind of got more of a routine, I've settled into a new role during the week. I'm definitely like trying to get issue 4 out there for the new year, and starting it up again at the moment. So yeah, I think that's probably been the most difficult challenge, kind of deciding like, has it been too long since the last issue, and would people still be interested? But I think the sign of reassurance when I realised, you know what, I do need to try and overcome this kind of gap that I've had in between the issues, is people still kind of come up to me now and are like, oh, are you doing another magazine? Or
Mhm.
I sometimes get DMs like, oh, have you got another one out? Or like, when are you doing another one? I'd love to work with you. And I get little messages like that. Or I've been like in town once and this random girl, I literally didn't even know who she was, came up to me and was like, oh, were you the girl that did the Millennial Magazine? And I was like, oh
Wow.
yeah. And she was just like, I can't remember. She was like, oh, I ordered one off you online and I really liked it, and I just wondered if you were doing another one. And that was really, really nice to hear. I was just like, oh, a complete stranger. And I think then you realize how kind of like popular it was in the area, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. So how I got well, someone told me about the Millennial Magazine, and as soon as I seen the
Yeah.
first and second issue, I was like, wow, like this is so professional. I want to be a part of this. That's when I sent
Yeah.
you, the DM,
Yeah.
and telling you about the unorthodox events, which is
Hmm.
great. And yeah, like when people come up to you on the streets that you don't even know, it's a good feeling
Yeah.
because you know that other people outside of your friendship circle
Hmm.
appreciate your work, and it
Hmm.
is really good, and it does give you a boost of motivation,
Yeah.
because you don't want to let them down. Like you want to keep on doing
No,
it because you enjoy it,
that's the
and now
thing.
other
Yeah.
people are part of the process and the journey. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
great.
I think it's that feeling of like, and now it's not just myself that's now like excited about it. It's
Yeah,
like people genuinely actually like nearly 2 years later still remember it, and still are excited about it as well. So it's not just a case of like my own like self-fulfillment. It's kind of like, oh, other people actually want to see this. So yeah, it's definitely a really good feeling. I think that definitely motivates you to be like, you know, I need to do this again. So yeah,
no,
definitely.
that's really good. That's really good. So, what were the best resources that's helped you along the way?
So like I said, obviously like networking and always having an open mind, kind of like being a real people person, and just open to like kind of not judging books by their cover. So you might just completely like bypass someone who could literally be a really, really creative or capable person that could benefit them. Just kind of like, yeah, open to anyone and always trying to talk to people and start up conversations, kind of learn about what I think, paying attention to what other people can do and are doing as well. And it means you have your finger on the pulse of like kind of what's going on around you, and how you can utilize that. And if it benefits me, then it's probably going to benefit them as well, because like I said, it's a platform for
100%.
everyone.
100%.
Yeah, so it's that kind of mutual thing. It's not just like I'm taking whatever, like we're both working together, and I think that's a really, really important thing to bear in mind. So yeah, that's definitely a key part of it.
Exactly. It's really good. And I've noticed that you've done work with Busby's, the famous
Yeah.
Busby. So what was the role like over there, and what did you learn whilst being there?
So that was a role, obviously, as like people might not know, it's one of Lord Sugar's invested companies. And again, that's kind of where like my concept of like being a people person and open to opportunities and conversation like really benefited me there. So it's just like a really kind of random opportunity, really. I was just at work one evening and the guy that owned the company came in and we just kind of got chatting, and he was like, oh, why don't you have Busby's tonic water in here? And I was just like, oh, what's that? And then we just kind of got talking, and I kind of remembered the name of the brand, didn't think much of it, and was on LinkedIn the next day and saw that I already had that guy as a connection on LinkedIn, and I was just like, oh, that's so funny. Like I swear that was the guy that was in for a drink at work last
Yeah,
night, and I just
wow.
straight away messaged him, introduced myself, and was like, hi Mark, if I'd known that that was you that I already had on LinkedIn, I would have
Yeah.
introduced myself. Like, I'm currently studying media. Would it be possible to do some freelance work for you to help with the brand? I'm really interested in it. Sounds really great. And straight away, like 3 days later, I was working for them as their social media manager and just doing that from home. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, and did that for 9 months, and then I went full time. But I just yeah, kind of I went full time, and after I came out of uni straight away, and kind of felt it wasn't for me and the kind of path that I wanted to go on. Obviously, like I said, I went to uni to go into magazines and print
Yeah.
and that side a little bit more, and I just felt it wasn't, yeah, kind of fulfilling like my passions, everything, and I was really creative, and yeah, I think being like fresh out of uni, it's sometimes really confusing, and there's a lot of pressure to kind of just grab an opportunity straight away.
Absolutely.
But I think recognizing when you're not completely like fulfilled or happy in something is really important as well, so that you can kind of get on the right track. And obviously you've studied really hard to go into what you're passionate about. So for me, like, I just kind of had to assess that and be honest. It was a great opportunity and I learned a lot, and it was really great to do it alongside my third year of uni as well. And got me a lot of skills, and it was really really valuable experience. So yeah, I think that's just important to always kind of think, what do I want out of this, and go from there.
Yeah, 100%. And it's great to have in your portfolio,
Yeah.
in the company that Amway and Sir Alan Sugar invested in, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Did you get?
For 21, I was very proud.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's really good. Did you get to meet Alan during your time there?
No, unfortunately not. I did write a few tweets for him. I never
Yeah.
actually met him, but
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I'd get an email like, "Oh, can you write this tweet for Alan to post?" And then I'd send it off, and
Oh,
he'd
nice.
copy and paste and post it. And I was like, "Oh, I wrote that tweet." So
Really good.
that was a little proud moment. Yeah, but other than that, unfortunately not.
Oh, that's well, not yet, anyways. Like the power of
Yeah,
networking, like you're not far off
who
on that
knows?
level. That's
Yeah, who knows?
the beautiful thing about networking. You meet someone, and then you meet someone else, and then that person can lead you on to a job. Like in your case, you actually landed a grad job straight away, where
Yeah,
most people are super confused, not knowing what they're doing.
yeah,
You had
yeah.
that move already
hmm
there. You already thought 5 steps ahead, which is
Yeah, yeah,
great. And
yeah.
yeah, so that's awesome. So what was that process like? Did you pick up any new skills during that role? And that's helping you out today. I know you're with a new fashion brand that's really, taken over the
Yeah,
market. Some really intricate
yeah,
designs and vibrant colors.
yeah,
It's Alize, am I right?
yeah. Alize, yeah.
Yeah. So how has your past experience helped you in doing marketing and PR for Alize?
So yeah, I'd say like obviously at the moment I'm working from home as a permanent kind of thing in my role. And obviously when I started at Busby's, that was first 9 months working from home, juggling that alongside uni as well. So I think I learned a lot around independent working, kind of using your own initiative and getting used to that kind of freelance style of work as well. Really set me up to kind of for this role I've got at the moment. And there's a lot of skills obviously around kind of all the social media management now, and that's what I'm kind of managing for Alize as well. And yeah, I think I'll just utilize a real mix of skills from both uni and the different roles I've had. And again, doing PR now, my current role is a real people person thing, and getting talking with people and
Absolutely.
making those collaborations and connections. So it's kind of a real, everything I've done is kind of all jumbled together, and I kind of pull skills from all over the place, whether it's Millennial or Busby's or even like uni experience.
No, that's really cool. Yeah, and that's the best experience, just bringing
hmm
everything from past jobs, skill sets. It just jumbles up
hmm
to experience, and which we convert
hmm
to skill,
hmm
transferable
hmm
skills in your case, which is great.
Yeah,
Yes, I am looking forward to Alize, the new launch, and all
yeah,
and things that's happening with them.
yeah,
Yeah, super awesome. And so,
yeah.
tell us a bit more about the marketing and PR side. So, what's the thought process behind that?
So it's a lot about like assessing who your customer is, and also where you can find them, and then in a PR aspects in particular, kind of knowing where you can find them, and then kind of approaching those publications or websites, blogs, or even like social media. It's a lot with influencers and all that, and kind of being like, where will our followers be, or where will our audience be, so that we can kind of put ourselves in that place and get noticed. So that is a lot around what my role is kind of every day, and then also a lot of content creation. So I'm often directing a lot of their photo shoots, and also making all the copy and text and everything for the website. So basically, like everything visual and content wise, I've pretty much like either worked on or kind of created. So yeah, we all kind of work together really well as a team. So we're all kind of like on the same page what needs to be done, but with the creative direction and things, that's probably the bit where I really let all my passions come out and I really enjoy it and kind of in my element really.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that's what I'm interested as well, the copy side of things, because once you was doing our set of in your magazine, the copy was really good, and I've flicked through other pages, and it's just like
Yeah,
I was going through the process of their journey, and it was just
yeah,
really well written, and it's a
thank
really great
you.
skill set to have in any business.
Hmm.
That's something I found difficult on
Hmm.
past projects I've done myself, which so on the
Hmm.
websites or whether it's captions for Instagram posts.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, that's the most difficult,
yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
That's one of the little things where when I explain it to people, I'm like, I do their Instagram captions, and I'm like, trust me, it's harder than it
no, it
looks.
is. It is. It's pretty difficult. I write like 2-3 sentences, and I'm like, oh no, I have to delete that.
Mhm.
It needs
Yeah,
to resonate with the person reading this. So you need to put a
yeah,
lot of
yeah.
think outside the box and stuff, and you do that really well.
Hmm.
But what's that process
Hmm.
kind of
Oh,
like?
thank you. I think if you really like want to kind of approach the person you're trying to like get the attention of, it's just or like with the articles in particular, like you said in Millennial, it's about really understanding the story or thing that you're actually talking about, like fully understand what it is, and you kind of really understand the either product or the story or who it is that you're speaking about, or in your case obviously unorthodox events. If you really really understand it and kind of get all the information and things that you want to ask, you can then kind of create a copy or article that actually makes sense because you understand it, and kind of know how to target it and kind of construct it in a way that the people reading it will actually find it interesting. So yeah, I think it's just kind of fully understanding it and yourself, and you can kind of then mold it into the way that it needs to be packaged so that the person actually can digest it and appreciate it in the best way.
Really well put, and 100%. That's going to give so much value, well, for myself
Mhm.
and the listeners. So thank you very much, and I will implement that moving
No
forward.
worries.
And so we are going through the outro questions now, the really fun questions
Mhm.
of the
Okay.
segment. So the first question is: if you had £100 million right now, how would you spend it, and why?
I mean, I'm not too sure to be honest. There's a lot of money, so it's kind of the options are endless. I think I'd probably definitely do something business related, um, and probably invest it in stocks or shares or something. I need to get someone to teach me
Yeah,
because I haven't got a clue. But
wise choice.
yeah, I
Really
would
wise.
definitely,
Not many people say
yeah, that's what I would
investing.
definitely do. I would say, as much as I am a bit of a shopaholic, I would definitely use it wisely as well. I'd be very conscious about wanting to just spend it and not kind of get it any more back.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely invest it. For me, I probably personally like go into property, like and make that my full-time role. And I'm really, really into like interiors and stuff. So I'd love to kind of buy properties and do them up really nicely and sell them on and kind of have that as my day-to-day thing. I think to keep me busy. And yeah, the rest of the money I don't know, probably just put it away somewhere and for family and things like that. So yeah.
It's really good. It's like you was prepared for this question. No,
I actually wasn't. No, I actually wasn't at all. But no, I think yeah, I think my dream would definitely be to do up old houses and things like that. I'd love that.
Oh, that's really nice. Hopefully, I can buy a house from you one day.
Let's hope so. Let's hope I've got the money to do so. And need to get that 100 mil, and we'll see.
Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal. So, what does the future look like for Berenice then?
So the future currently probably looks like obviously starting the magazine again, still really enjoying my current role and job, and kind of just gaining more skills through that and getting even more confident, and just working on that and focusing on that. And I think for me, I'm trying to like focus on more quality things that make me happy day to day. So I think in the past, like I've often juggled a lot of things at once, often had like 2 or 3 jobs on the go and done uni and everything, and had hobbies and all that. And I think it's just like minimizing what I've got and doing things that I'm really, really interested in and wanting to do, and not like because I need to do them, just whatever, like kind of, you know, limiting like the amount of commitments you have. And I think you just have a clearer state of mind as well, and you can do the things you really want to do a lot better.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so kind of focusing on my 9 to 5, building up more skills, kind of doing training, and then obviously starting the magazine again, and just like staying healthy and enjoying quality time with people. I think this year's taught us a lot to appreciate the people around us. So yeah, I think just being happy, I think that's the future.
Really well said, and definitely save me a page on your magazine. I'm looking forward to that.
I will do.
And who are the three most influential people to you, and why?
3 most influential people I definitely look up to in a business sense. One in particular would be like Karen Brady. So she's Lord Sugar's like right hand kind of thing, and her kind of success story is actually an autobiography I have read, which is really, really interesting. And she kind of started out, I think, when she was about 19, and obviously by like I think 21 was a manager at Birmingham City Football Club, and obviously back in I think the 80s, wherever that was really, really unheard of. And to do that at her age and her kind of persistence, and she was just kind of knocking on people's doors like that she needed to be able to get her foot in the door and get that step ahead. I think she sat outside someone's office for like 7 hours once and refused to go till they saw her.
Wow.
And I think that I see a lot of that in me, and I just really, really find her story very admiring, and she's always kind of doing stuff, and is a very successful like businesswoman for people to like, girls in particular, to look up to. And I think she has a lot of qualities that you often only see like represented in males in business, and I think she kind of proves that like females can do it too, which I think is really important. But I think another one, obviously, with everything that's going on, is like David Attenborough. I think he's a really, really like amazing and like a real legend for our planet that we should really like listen to and take more notice of. And I think he's given us a lot of things to kind of like take note of, and it's just really, really important. I think he's just someone that's got so much life experience and
so much
really,
wisdom.
Really so much wisdom. And when you listen to him, you're like, God, he makes you want to care about the things that he's talking about.
100%.
So yeah, I think he's amazing, and obviously it's sad that he's getting older and older, but I think he's definitely a real icon to look up to. And a third person I would say, probably like, I can't pick, so probably like my mum and my dad have both, as an only child, always trying to put me first and always try to give me the best start in life, like no matter what the circumstances are, and always have my best interests at heart. So I think that's where a lot of my like wanting to provide for myself also comes from. Like I don't want to rely on other people as well, and I think they've given me a lot of like resources to be able to be independent and do a lot of things myself, and I know they're really proud as well. So yeah, I think those would be my people that I look up to.
It's really
Definitely.
good, really good. And I would definitely look into the book that you mentioned for the first person that influenced you. Really, really good.
Yeah.
And what is advice? What is your advice to anyone looking to get into digital marketing or grow an online presence through social media?
I think like my number one piece of advice would be like, obviously, there's so much stuff online and access on the internet now that like there's so much free stuff as well, especially with COVID. I think a lot of places like release a lot of free training courses and everything. So just getting out there and work experience, as well as kind of doing at home training things, getting those certificates and all that. It's just like, that's really, really important. So kind of just utilizing again what's around you and what you've got access to. You don't always have to pay for it. But just kind of either knocking on people's doors and asking, hey, can I come and do this for a week? And I get a recommendation, or can I come and do this training, or things like that. There's so many like social media accounts online as well you can follow for tips and tricks and marketing things that kind of they say like, oh, this is how you do this and all that. So you can always pick up little things on the way. It doesn't even need to be like going to university or things like that.
Yeah, so upskill in all the areas you need to and create your own opportunity, really.
Yeah,
Yeah, and where can our
definitely.
listeners find you online or connect with you?
So they can find me on my Instagram, which is a private account, but it's at Berenice Charlotte, with a little X on the end. And it sounds really cringe now to say it out loud, but yeah. Other than that, I'm not really on anything else. But I was recently writing for a website, but unfortunately that's not up anymore. So I think, yeah, or obviously key one for me would be follow the Millennial Magazine on Instagram as a key one, and I'll kind of see either one account, and obviously stay up to date on there as well, because the new issue should be coming out in the next couple of months at the latest. So yeah, so if people want to stay up to date with that, that would be amazing.
Definitely, and I will, vouch for your work on the Millennial Magazine that you're currently doing now.
Thank you.
Really great. To anyone listening right now, if you make the right moves, maybe one day you'll be featured in the Millennial Magazine.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's great. So the final question, and the most important question of today, what is your checkmate theory?
So my checkmate theory would definitely be to always kind of stay true to what you want out of life, what makes you happy. And if something's not making you happy, then change it, and always kind of be thinking ahead, like what's the next step. Don't just stop where you are, think what you want to do next, get the skills and the training and the connections, and just talk to people around you as well. And I think the more doors you can open, the more opportunities you've got. And I guess the sky's the limit kind of after that. So yeah, that's definitely what I would say is how I choose to like my life mantra, and to kind of go forward in those kind of qualities as well.
Really well said. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you all
No worries.
to the listeners that have tuned in and downloaded this
Yeah.
episode. Please like, share, and leave a review on iTunes. I've been Ahmed. I've made my move. Now it's time for you to make yours. Thank you very much and take care.
Thank you.